जया कुंज बिहारी।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद।
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव।
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल।
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
जय
जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय,
जय
गुरु महाराज की जय,
जय
वीरेंद्राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय,
जय।
और glories to assembled devotees. Shivaguna Krishnadas Prabhuji ki jai, or glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Welcome once more all devotees for our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, daily Srimad Bhagavatam reading morning session. So Thursday we have completed, we have started a new chapter, and we have read the two verses from the new chapter, chapter number 16 we started. So two verses we have completed. So today we have to start from the verse number 3 onwards. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Dado Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloke Bhaktar Bhavati Nashtagi. Mugam Karodi Vachalam Pangum Lange Adegiri Yat Kripadamakam Vande Paramananda Madhavam Sri Gurum Dinadarinam Sri Chaitanya Misharam Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalagaya Chakshurum Milidam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadam Mahyendadam Disabadandigam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Udapadagamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Sagana Raghunathanidandam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Brijanisakadam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lirda Sri Vishakha Nidamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagalpati Govesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyecha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nidhinamini Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vachatya Deshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome once more, all devotees. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I will start verse number 3.
Yes, Prabhuji, please. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, we will start with verse number 3 of chapter 16. It's a description about Jambudvipa, the new chapter. So, verse number 3, translation. Sorry. So, Bhagavato Gunamaye Stularupa Aveshidam Mano Grhunepi Sushmamadama Atma Jyotishi Pare Brahmani Bhagavati Vasudevagye Kshamamaveshidam Tadu Haitad Guru Arhasya Varnaidumidi Bhagavato Gunamayo Stula Rupa Aveshidam Mano Griha Hyagune Abhi Sushmatama Atma Jyotishi Pare Brahmani Bhagavati Vasudevagye Kshamamaveshitum Tadu Haitad Guror Hasya Nuvarnaidu Miti. Krishna Sarvada Mataji was not audible, so that's why Vimala Mataji started. I don't know. Now it's okay.
No problem. My net was having some problem. That's it.
Okay.
I lost my net connection.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, now okay. Thank you, Baba. Hare Krishna. So, translation purport by His Divine Grace Abhijaranavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. When the mind is fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his external feature made of the material modes of nature, the gross universal form, it is brought to the platform of pure goodness. In that transcendental position, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, who in his subtler form is self-effulgent and beyond the modes of nature. O my Lord, please describe vividly how that form which covers the entire universe is perceived. Translation once more. When the mind is fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his external feature made of the material modes of nature, the gross universal form, it is brought to the platform of pure goodness. In that transcendental position, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, who in his subtler form is self-effulgent and beyond the modes of nature. O my Lord, please describe vividly how that form which covers the entire universe is perceived. Purport. Maharaja Parikshit had already been advised by his spiritual master Sukadeva Goswami to think of the universal form of the Lord, and therefore, following the advice of his spiritual master, he continuously thought of that form. The universal form is certainly material, but because everything is an expansion of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Godhead, ultimately nothing is material. Therefore, Parishad Maharaja mind Parishad Maharaja's mind was saturated with spiritual consciousness. Srila Rupa Goswami has stated, Hari
प्रापंचिकया बुद्ध्या हरि संबंधी वस्तुना मुमुक्षुभिः परित्यागो वैराग्यं फल्गु कथ्यते.
okay, thank you. प्रापंचिकतया बुद्ध्या हरि संबंधी वस्तुनः मुमुक्षुभिः परित्यागो वैराग्यं फल्गु कथ्यते. Everything, even that which is material, is connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, everything should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura translates this verse as follows. Hari Sevaya yaha anukula Vishaya Baliya Tahara Tyage Haya Gula. One should not give up anything connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking it material or enjoyable for the material senses. Even the senses, when purified, are spiritual. When Maharaja Parishad was thinking of the universal form of the Lord, his mind was certainly situated on the transcendental platform. Therefore, although he might not have had any reason to be concerned with the detailed information of the universe, he was thinking of it in relationship with the Supreme Lord. And therefore, such geographical knowledge was not material but transcendental. Elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.20, Narada Muni has said, idam hi vishwam bhagavan ivadara. Sorry, ivadara.
Correct, Prabhu. Idam hi vishwam bhagavan ivetaraha.
Bhagavan ivadara.
Ivetaraha.
Ivedara, thank you. The entire universe is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although it appears different from him. Therefore, although Parishad Maharaja had no need for geographical knowledge of the universe, that knowledge was also spiritual and transcendental because he was thinking of the entire universe as an expansion of the energy of the Lord. In our preaching work also, we deal with so much property and money and so many books bought and sold. But because these dealings all pertain to the Krishna conscious movement, they should never be considered material. That one is absorbed in thoughts of such managements. Of such a management does not mean that he is outside of Krishna consciousness. If one rigidly observes the regulative principles of chanting 16 rounds of the Mahamantra every day, his dealings with the material world for the sake of spreading the Krishna consciousness movement are not different from the spiritual cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we are now entering a new chapter. I'm not qualified, but since as part of service, whatever my understanding, I will share with you all. And kindly correct me if there is any mistakes. So this is a description of Jambudvipa, a very technical chapter where there will be a lot of descriptions about the Jambudvipa, its dimensions, about the various varshas, the tracts of land within Jambudvipa, and all those things will be here. This is about how Parikshit Maharaj started inquiring about the details of Jambudvipa.
Jambudvipa.
Because before, Parikshit Maharaj is hearing about the king Priyavarta, how he used his chariot to create a tract of land. He was, he wanted to illuminate his whole entire kingdom with light. So, against the sun, he was making another tract of land. So, when he heard that Maharaj Priyavarta activities, he is now inquiring about that tract of land and its dimension, which is actually called as Jambudvipa. So, here we can see Prabhupada is writing, when you read the translation, it's really difficult to understand what Sukadeva Goswami is trying to tell. But when we read Prabhupada purport, then we understand actually what is the meaning of this translation. That's why the Acharya's commentaries are very, very important. Because without Acharya's commentaries or explanation, it is very difficult to understand the scriptures. That's why they say always Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So we need Guru, we need Acharyas who can explain the actual intention or actual meaning behind all these verses. So today's verse actually 5:16:3. So Sukadeva Goswami is narrating this. When the mind is fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his external feature, made of the material modes of nature, the gross universal form, it is brought to the platform of pure goodness. So how the mind is gradually brought to the Suddha Sattva stage. In that transcendental position, here the external feature of the material modes of nature. That means actually it is representing the universal form. And in that transcendental position, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, who in his subtler form is self-effulgent and subtler form and beyond the modes of nature. Oh my Lord, please describe vividly how that form, which covers the entire universe, is perceived. Actually, this is a question posed by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami, requesting him to describe about that form, the form which is going to be described in the coming verses. Now, if you go to the purport, Maharaj Parikshit has already been advised by his spiritual master. In the beginning of the Bhagavatam, already Sukadeva Goswami has very clearly explained about the universal form of the Lord. And therefore, following the advice of the spiritual master, he continuously thought of that form. So we also know that the universal form of the Lord is material. Even when Krishna shown this Vishwarupa form, it was actually a material form. Like it is why material? Because it is temporary. Anything temporary is actually called as material. So here when Krishna is showing the Vishwarupa, it is actually temporary form. That's why Prabhupada said it is not required to worship Vishwarupa Darshanam. It is only for neophytes, not for the devotees. And second thing, when Prabhupada said, Vishwarupa, how you will worship? He has so many hands, so many legs. You cannot even dress the deity. So we don't worship the Vishwarupa form. It is only for neophytes or people who cannot visualize or see the beautiful Shamashundara form of the Lord. For them, Vishwarupa form is recommended. And now if you see Bhagavatam goes to the 10th canto, which goes gradually to the Shamashundara form of the Lord. So in beginning stage, when somebody is starting with Bhagavatam, it is always advised to go with the Vishwarupa form of the Lord. In that context, Sukadeva Goswami at the beginning is instructing Maharaj Parikshit that you can meditate on the universal form of the Lord. But again, the universal form of the Lord is actually material, where these upper planetary systems are compared to his head, the middle planetary system to the waist, and the lower planetary systems are compared to his thighs and feet. Like that, there is a big description how these various forms and his bones, like the mountains are compared to the bones, the hairs are compared to the trees. Like that, the Vishwarupa form is actually represented in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. So one point here we know is this universal form is a material form because it is not an eternal form. Because even if you see, this Brahmanda itself will be annihilated after some time. So then there is no universal form here. And again, it will be created during Brahma's day. And again, Brahma's night comes, it will be annihilated. So it is material means it is temporary. But because everything is an expansion of energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ultimately nothing is material. This is called actually Achintya means. We understand even though it is material, again it is not material also. Why it is not material? The Prabhupada gives another analogy. The government has two departments. One is the criminal department, one is the welfare department. So for the citizen, there is two different things. One is called criminal department, that if you don't follow the law, you will be put under the criminal department. And if you follow the law and if you are a good citizen, you will go under the welfare department. Government will give you good rations, subsidy for your whatever these things. and they will help you to get the loan like that. So two departments are there. One is criminal department, one is welfare department. Every government has these two departments. For the citizen, there are two departments. But for the government, this is not two different departments. It is like all, for government, it is same, because they are, in order to run the universe, they are doing so many departments to run the country. Similarly, from our point of view, for the Jivatma, something is material, which is disconnected from the Lord, and something is spiritual because it is connected to the Lord. But from the Lord's point of view, there is nothing called material for it. Even when we say the universal form is material, from our vision, it is material. From the Lord's perspective, nothing is material. And same way, the devotee of the Lord also have the same vision. What kind of vision they have? The same vision. From their point of view, everything is spiritual. Everywhere they see Krishna. Everywhere they see. Even they see the Krishna in plants, trees, and everywhere they see, because they know these are all part and parcel of Krishna. One time, one devotee was asking, disciple was asking Prabhupada, how we are saying that you are 24 hours thinking about Krishna, how it is possible? Then Prabhupada given an example that, see, I am sitting here. When you come inside my room, you are seeing my sandal. Okay, it is outside, chapel or sandal, whatever you say. When you see my sandal, what do you think? Then the disciple told, when I see the sandal or chapel, I see that, okay, my spiritual master is here. So this chapel is here. So he's saying a pure devotee of the Lord, whenever he's seeing material energy, he always thinks, oh, my Krishna's energy is here. So he will always relate everything to Krishna. Like, one time Prabhupada was sitting in I think in Los Angeles only, in temple outside courtyard, there was a breeze, nice breeze coming. And Prabhupada said, Krishna's breeze is there. It is actually giving so much soothing to me. So everything, the energy of whatever they see, material energy also, they will connect with Krishna. So when they connect with Krishna, automatically it becomes spiritual. So we should understand that for Krishna or Krishna's pure devotee, nothing is material here. For them, everything is spiritual. But for a normal neophyte or for a materialistic person, there is something called material and there is something called spiritual. So since Parishit Maharaj is actually a pure devotee, he's hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. So for him, therefore, Parishit Maharaj mind was saturated with spiritual consciousness, even though he was meditating on the Vishwarupa form of the Lord. So Srila Rupa Goswami, as stating this, Prabhupada is quoting this verse, Prapanchikritya buddhya hari sambandhi vastuna mumukshivi parityago vairagyam falgu katyate. So here, everything, even what is material, is connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, everything should be enjoyed in the service of the Lord. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur translates these verses as follows. Hari Sevaya Yaha Haya Anukula Vishaya Baliya Tahara Tyagya Haya Bula. One should not give up anything connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking it is material or enjoyable for material senses. Even the senses, when purified, are spiritual. So here we can see his Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. He was a revolutionary in he made a revolution in spiritual life, because before his time, Swamiji or Sannyasi means they will renounce everything material things, and they don't use anything luxurious or anything. They will not use, telling that these are all Maya. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, he revolutionized. He used car for preaching. He used to go from place to place, and we know that he opened 64 Gaudiya Matas in India, 64 centers. Like Prabhupada opened 108 temples. His Guru Maharaj opened 64 Gaudiya Matas all over India. So we can see that he did not reject anything. He had a dress very nicely when he is going to, people who are like very much materialistic. He used to dress in a nice way. He does not reject. To spread Krishna consciousness, it is not required to reject anything which is material, which can be used in the service of Krishna. So Prabhupada, when he used to sit, there was like so much donation used to come. So much stack and stack of money will be near him. But he knows that this is Krishna's money and it should be used in Krishna's service. If somebody has that kind of consciousness, then those things need not be rejected. No need to go to Himalayas to reject everything, tell this is all Maya, not required. Maya is only when we use those things for our own enjoyment, it becomes Maya. But with the same Maya, when it is used in Krishna's service, it becomes actually bhakti, spiritual or devotional. So that point we have to understand from the life history of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, from where Prabhupada also taken the same principle Many principles Prabhupada taken from him. Like in earlier days, they say that Brahmana or Vaishnava, they should not cross the ocean. That's why still today some few people are there, even though they are highly educated, they prefer to work in India. I know a few people, they are in IT. They say, no, we will not cross. Even though they get offer in America or something, they say, no, our scripture says not good. But Prabhupada broken all those things. He said, for Krishna service, we can even go to any extent. It is not, because the whole scripture is meant for actually engaging in devotional service. So if I can go to America and spread this knowledge, why should I stick to the scripture? So Prabhupada did not bother, because everything can be used in Krishna service. So Prabhupada even crossed the ocean in order to spread this Krishna Bhakti. Because it is said that whatever instruction is there in the scripture, it is for one purpose. It is to Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Vishmatavya Jatujit. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. For this principle, only scripture is there. If you can do that, then you can convert anything material into spiritual. So that is actually a very important point we are learning from this Srila Prabhupada purport here. Here, for further continuing, when Maharaj Parikshit was thinking of the universal form of the Lord, his mind was certainly on the transcendental platform. Therefore, although he might not have any reason to be concerned with detailed information of the universe, he was thinking of it in relationship with the Supreme Lord. So, here again, same Srila Prabhupada example, Srila Prabhupada and the sandal. As somebody seeing Prabhupada sandal, immediately they remember Prabhupada. So, a devotee, although he is seeing something material or the geographical knowledge of material world, we may think it is not spiritual, but we know it is Krishna's energy. In that way, we actually connect to Krishna. So, in that way, it is not material, but transcendental. Elsewhere, Prabhupada quotes in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.20, where Narada Muni has said that Idam hi Vishwam Bhagavan Evetarha. So, Prabhupada is giving a very apt relation with this verse, that the entire universe is also the Supreme Personality of God. It is not different from the Lord, although it appears different from Him. So, same Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Matsani Sarva Bhutani. Krishna says in 9th chapter that, everything is in me. Everything is in me. Even when you see, when Lord Krishna ate the mud and Mother Yashoda saw that the whole universe is within Krishna only. So it is actually non-different from Krishna. Therefore, although Parishit Maharaj had no need for geographical knowledge of this universe, that knowledge was also spiritual and transcendental, because he was thinking of the entire universe as an expansion of the energy of the Lord. Now we know the point very clearly, Prabhupada writing, because they understand it is an expansion of the energy of the Lord. So in that way, it becomes spiritual, because through seeing this energy, he is able to think about Lord Krishna. So that is the point. Same the Prabhupada example, we can relate with this one. Furthermore, Prabhupada writes that in our preaching work also, when Prabhupada was engaged in the preaching work very dynamically, we deal with so much property. This Prabhupada's personal experience he is quoting in this verse, in this purport. In our preaching work also, we deal with so much property and money, and so many books bought and sold. But because these dealings all pertain to Krishna conscious movement, they should be never considered as material. So people may think that, you are selling books, you are managing a temple, it is a material activity. No. Managing a temple is also a spiritual activity, because it is done in connection with Krishna. So that one is absorbed in the thoughts of such management does not mean that he is outside Krishna consciousness. So for a material people, he may think that he is going buying steel, he is buying cement, he is going and engaged in drawing, he is engaged in the architecture business. It may look like a material thing, because somebody is going buying cement, somebody is going and buying steel. So, like one time Prabhupada was there bringing his American disciples from US to Vrindavan. And all these disciples were actually very eager. They are going from Delhi to Vrindavan in the car. So they are thinking that now Prabhupada will talk more about Krishna, the intimate pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan. But Prabhupada throughout that journey, he was telling, how much is the price of cement now? Then the disciple used to say the cement bag is like 80 rupees or something. Then he will tell, no, you should now stock more quantity of cement now, because now future the cement scarcity will come, then the price will go up. So now itself you stock. Like that, he's completely discussing about the temple activities, what is going on, how much is balance work, how much is the progress. Then one disciple asked, like, Prabhupada, we want to hear something about this part. Prabhupada said, if you are always in the doing some seva for Krishna, that is also Krishna consciousness only. So any activity, any service, whether building a temple or cleaning a temple or any service which is related to the temple management or related to the preaching or book distribution, that is all, even though it looks like a material activity, because it is done as a service to Krishna, it is also Krishna consciousness. Apart from that, if one can only do that seva and leave it like that, no, Prabhupada does not accept that. He will be giving further explanation. I am only doing temple seva. Is it enough? No. If one rigidly observes the regulatory principles of chanting 16 rounds of Mahamantra every day, is dealing in the material world for sake of spreading Krishna consciousness are not different from spiritual cultivation of Krishna consciousness. So this does not mean somebody is engaging always in the service, he will not chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No. He has to follow the regulatory principles and chant the 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Along with that, whatever seva is doing for other 18 hours or 15 hours, anything which may appear like material, because it is connected to the service of Krishna, that is non-different from spiritual cultivation of Krishna consciousness. So this is what Prabhupada writes for Parishit Maharaj query about further explanation of this Vishwarupa form and about the Lord's material energy. So that will be described in the 4th verse, actually, from 4th verse onwards, this Jambudvipa. So Jambudvipa and there are, how many tracts of land are there? There are actually 9 tracts of 9 Varshas are there. So Jambudvipa and 9 tracts of land that will be discussed in the coming 4th verse to 10th verse. That will be there. Hare Krishna. So I have,
yeah. Raji, you have the PPT?
Yes, so I will share now. Maybe you can see. Yeah, because Mataji asked yesterday, Saradita Mataji. So whatever I have, I will share with you. And later also we can discuss. So we already, this chapter 5, Canto 5 is having 4 important subjects about Lord Rishabhadev. In the beginning, we have discussed from chapter 1 to 6. Yes. And Rishabhadev's son is Bharat Maharaj. So Rishabhadev is actually an incarnation, and he has given a lot of teachings, important teachings in Bhagavatam, which we read earlier. And Rishabhadev had 100 sons. One is Bharat Maharaj. And we already know Bharat Maharaj's story, how he was, he retired from his kingdom, went to the forest, went tapasya, attracted to the deer at the last moment, born as a deer. And next birth, he was very carefully born as a Jada Bharat and then attained the spiritual. Now, this is chapter number 16, which we started today. Chapter number 16 to 19 is actually about Jambudvipa. 3 chapters. And then after that, 20 to 26 chapters is about discussing about the Vedic cosmology. Vedic cosmology means a different planetary system which is within this Brahmanda. If you see, the whole universe is called as Brahmanda. It is like a egg shape. That's called Brahmanda, which is coming out from the pores of Mahavishnu or Karanadakshay Vishnu. From his pores, when he is exhaling, all these innumerable Brahmandas are coming and they are floating on an ocean called Karanajal. Upon the Karanajal only Mahavishnu is lying. And from when he is exhaling, all this Brahmanda is coming out like a bubbles. And the Brahmanda is egg-shaped. One, like that, many Brahmandas are coming. And within that Brahmanda, Mahavishnu or Karanadakshay Vishnu is expanding as, who is that Vishnu? So, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, if you see, he is entering into one Brahmanda. Like you see here, one Brahmanda is there. Within this, there is one more version. That is Karana version. Within this Brahmanda is Garbhodaka version. In this, another Vishnu is lying. Garbhodakshay Vishnu. From his navel only Brahma is coming. And from the Brahma, we know he is creating all these 14 planetary systems are within the stem of that lotus. Within the stem of the lotus, all these 14 planetary systems are there. And then once the Srishti happens, then Garbhodakshay Vishnu further expands to Shiradakshay Vishnu, who is called as Paramatma. Then he enters into everything. Then the life begins in this material universe. So first is Brahmanda, which is coming out from the pores of Mahavishnu. From the Brahmanda, today we are going further. If you go inside the Brahmanda, there is called Bhumandala, which is here, like a disc. This disc is actually, you see, the Brahmanda is like egg shape. Within that is actually the disc called Bhumandala. It is like a lotus flower. It is said that. Within that, it is having 7 islands. in circular. You see one circle, second circle, third circle, like that 7 circles are there. In that, the middle one, if you see, you can see the 7 circles here. And the middle one is actually called as, middle island is called as Jambudvipa. That is what we are going to discuss now. Brahmanda, then Bhumandala. Bhumandala has 7 islands. In that center one, there is Mount Meru here in the middle. Out next to that is actually, the middle island is actually Jambudvipa. In the Jambudvipa, there are 9 varshas or 9 tracts of land. So in that 9, we will see what are the 9 tracts of land. And that in that 9 tract of land, this one is called as Bharata Varsha. Out of this 9, one is called as Bharata Varsha, which is actually representing our Earth planet. So within this, you can see like a disc where above there are 14 planetary systems within the stem of the lotus, starting from Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka. So you can see the disc actually here. And whatever you can see, every Brahmaloka and Tapaloka, what is the distance also you can see here, how many yojanas. And you see within Tapaloka and Janaloka, what is the distance, Maharloka, Swargaloka and Borloka, and we see here Bhuloka here in the center. And Mount Meru is in the center, like an, like an axis, central axis. Surrounding that, this disc is there. So, okay, Borloka is higher to us. Then above that is Swargaloka, which is called as heaven. And then Maharloka, Janaloka, all where they do some tapasya and all. And Brahmaloka is abode of Lord Brahma. One more, another term for Brahmaloka is also called as Satyaloka. Satyaloka also refers to Brahmaloka. So, Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Swargaloka, Bhuvarloka. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are the 7th position, Bhuloka. And below that is another 14 planetary system. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. And below Patala is that Naraka. That is 27 hellish planets are there. So this all there from Bhagavatam only. When we are reading, we can understand this. Whatever this lokas, what is this yojanas? 1 yojana is equal to 8 miles. Calculation. You can see here, 1 yojana is equal to 8 miles. So if you want to convert into miles, then we need to multiply this into 8. Then you will get in miles. Then if you want, you can convert into kilometers also. So like this, we can see different lokas are there. And these all very beautifully explained in Surya Siddhanta. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj has written commentary on Surya Siddhanta. He was very much expert in all these things, Surya Siddhanta. So a lot of technical informations are there. And you can see here the 7 upper planetary systems. Satyaloka means abode of Lord Brahma. Tapaloka means the abode of 4 Kumaras, means the Brahma's son, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara. And Janaloka is abode of Navayogendras, who are also described as in the Bhagavatam 11th canto, King Nimi, Navayogendras. When you go to 11th canto, you'll understand about Navayogendras. Maharloka is the abode of Bhrigu Muni and other sages. Swargaloka is the abode of demigods. All the devatas reside in Indra, Chandra, all those headed by the Indra and the king of heaven. And Bhuvarloka, actually the moon planet also is part of Swarga, means heavenly planet only, moon. Bhuvarloka, the abode of Pitri Purusha, 4 fathers. And Bhuloka is a planet Earth, and the 7 Dvipas not visible to material vision. See, these 7 Dvipas are not visible to material vision, the abode of human beings. Now, going below, 8th is Atalaloka, abode of Bala demon, means there is one demon, Bala demon. Don't have much information you have to see. Vital Loka, abode of Hatkeshwara Shiva. And Sutala Loka, we know, Bali Maharaj was pushed by, was sent to that Sutala Loka and guarded by Vamana Avatar there. And next Indra will be Bali Maharaj according to Srimad Bhagavatam. Next period. Talatala Loka, abode of Maya demon, protected by Lord Shiva. Mahatal Loka, Kaliya serpent and demonic sons of Diti. Rasatal Loka, demons, and Patala Loka, Vasiki serpent. So these are the inhabitants of various lokas. And you can see here, this whole Bhumandala is like a disc. And Sumeru mountain is in the center of axis. And you can see there is how many islands? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 islands. Middle is the Jambudvipa. That is what we are going to see, the middle circle. Then we have Plakshadvipa, Salmalidvipa, Pushadvipa, Praushadvipa, Sakadvipa, and Pushkaradvipa. So these 7 islands are there, and these 7 islands, in between there is water. So around Jambudvipa is ocean of salt water, and next island ocean of sugarcane juice, then ocean of liquid. So every island is separated by a ocean. Inside Jambudvipa, every Varsha is isolated by mountains. That we will see when we are going to Jambudvipa. But with the islands, it is actually this one. Different kinds of ocean. Last is that golden land. You can see the golden land. It's called this Loka mountain. This one, golden land. You see the yellow one. So here you can see the sun's chariot. The sun is illuminating all this planetary system. But because of certain mountains, these Loka mountains are there. Certain places, the sun rays will not enter. But other places it will be there. On the top, you can see this is the Brahmaloka on the top. And Duruloka is the center of axis for the sun's chariot. So like this Bhumandala, this whole is like a lotus flower. You can see from the top, it is like a lotus flower. Within that, all the circles, 7 islands. And within the 7 island is the center is the Jambudvipa, which is actually having 9 varshas or 9 tracts of land separated by mountains, whereas the 7 islands are separated by oceans. This is Bhumandala. So now exactly 5.16, we are seeing this Jambudvipa. You can see like the lotus flower. So here you can see Jambudvipa, there is so much description. Maybe if there is, you can see like what are the, when we read, we'll understand what are the Varshas. 11th Varsha is at the center of the Jambudvipa, and Mount Sumeru is at the center of 11th Varsha. Here Lord Shiva worships Lord Shankarshan. So all this there. What is the eastern side of Mount Sumeru? Sumeru is in the center. So what is the east side, southern side, western side, northern side? Okay. And you can see there are many mountains at the foot of Mount Meru, means where the Jambudvipa and the Mount Meru is meeting, there are many mountains like Kuranga, Kurara. These all will come when we are seeing here. So this is all different cross sections of this one. You can see on the top, Ganga is falling, Mother Ganga, she is falling on the top of the Brahmapuri, and then taking 4 diversions from there. So you can see Bhumandal, 7 islands. These all there. We already discussed these 7 islands and what are the different oceans, what are the yojnas. And you can see here, I think one class we had earlier by a devotee from Pune, right?
Yeah, Pavana.
Five classes.
Yeah. Pavaneshwar Prabhu has already explained that in detail for us, but maybe we forgot. It was a long time now. During, I think, COVID time, he taken class. Very nice class. So again, it's very technical because a lot of dimensions are there, distance, lot of planetary system. So you can see here, Bharata Varsha is here. In the Jambudvipa, the last part, one side is Bharata Varsha. Because out of 9 tract of land in Jambudvipa, one is Bharata Varsha. And in Bharata Varsha, you can see the Himalaya mountains reference is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is there. With that reference, we can understand the position of Bharata Varsha, Himalaya mountain. So this whole center, what you see, the disk is actually Jambudvipa. And all the 9 tracts of land, you can see there are mountains separating each land, 1, 2, 3, and the other side 3, 6, and this side 7 and 8. So you can see as the Dvipas are separated by oceans, this tract of land is separated by mountains. So Sumeru is in the center. And you can see Sumeru is in the center. On the top, you can see that Brahmapuri, the abode of Lord Brahma on the top. And you can see here Sumeru. So you can see all the planets will come after Satyaloka, Janaloka, Marloka, and it will come down like that. Then it will come here. Now last is this Bhumandala. So you can see here how Ganges is falling on the top. Then it is taking 4 directions. It is falling here and coming as Alakananda. And here you can see here Bhadra. Here you can see different names. Chakshu and Sita. 4 different names it is getting according to the place where it is falling. Southern branch of Ganga known as Alakananda takes support of Keshnachal Mount and then falls onto the Hemakund mountain followed by Himalaya. So you can see 1, 2, 3. With first falling in that first inside tract of the land, then second, third, then coming to our earthly Bharatvarsha. This is for a flow of Ganges. So this is also there about big mountain Sumeru, the center of 11th Varsha. Okay. Brahma, we already seen. Each of his 4 sides calculated to extend for 10 million yojanas. So all these there. What are the lands on the all sides of this one? See, on the Brahmaloka itself, abode of Meru top, you can see who are there. Kuvera, that planetary system, that not place, the place of residence called Mahodaya. And Shiva, Yashovati, Indra, Amaravati. We know Amaravati very famous for Indra. Agni, Tejovati, Yama, Samyamani, Niriti, Krishnangna, Varuna, Shraddhavati. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Surrounding Brahmalok on the top of this Sumeru mountain. So this is again, you can see whatever, Ketumala Varsha, all these Varshas, and see Ganges is flowing all the 4 sides. This from top angle. From top they are seeing. The 4 sides, the Ganges is falling down. And whatever described in Bhagavatam, that banyan tree you can see, and all those things you can see here. So here exactly you can see the Brahman, this one, Bhumandal, means not Bhumandal, Earth, Bharata Kanda. In the Bharata Varsha, after Bharata Varsha, the last most is actually Bharata Kanda. Because Varsha is a tract of land. In the tract of land actually is Bharata Kanda. So you have to see like this. From top if you go, Brahmanda first. Then from the Brahmanda if you come inside, Bhumandala is second. In the Bhumandala there are 7 islands. We see that. In the 7 islands further you go, the middle island is actually Jambudvipa. And the Jambudvipa there are 9 Varshas, a tract of land. In that one tract of land is called as Bharata Varsha. One tract of land, Bharata Varsha, is actually Bharata Kanda, which is actually Earth. I think now we understand the flow. See here, Bharata Kanda, Earth. So this is the description of this one. Below planets also there. We already saw that. 14 lokas, they are like in the stem, within the stem of this lotus. Now you can see how our universe is like a lotus, Brahma, and the 14 planetary system. This Bhumandala is like a disk. So these are the different Varshas. What are the 9 Varshas? No? Kuru Varsha, Hiranyamaya Varsha, Ramyaka Varsha, Ketumala Varsha, Ilavarta Varsha, Bhadra Varsha, Hari Varsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, and Bharata Varsha. So it is said that Kimpurusha Varsha only Lord Hanuman stays in Kimpurusha Varsha. So in each Varshas, who is worshipping the which Lord? We can say that in Himalaya, where it is worshipped, here you can see Bharata, Narada Muni, Naranarayana, and Kimpurusha Varsha, Lord Ram is worshipped, the inhabitants worship Lord Ram, and Hari Varsha, Lord Narasimha is worshipped, Prahlad is there. Like that, you can see all this Ketumala and all these things, Ilavarta Varsha, and then Ramyaka Varsha, Matsya is worshipped, Manus are there, Hiranmaya Varsha, Kurma is worshipped. Like this, we can see what are the personalities worshipped in different Varshas. So this will come in.
Varsha means Mahaji, Prabhu?
Varshas means tract of land.
Tract of land, okay.
Tract of land, or you can say division of land.
Division.
You can see all this. The red one, this is all within the red, within both red is a tract of land. That red is actually that mountain.
Okay.
Because Himalaya means mountain, Hemakuta is mountain. So within the tract of land, one tract of land is separated from the other tract of land by mountains.
Other place it is separated by the ocean, no, Prabhu?
Ocean, yes, Jambudvipa. Yeah, they're not Jambudvipa. That's 7 islands, which is, if you see like a big circle of Bhumandala, Bhumandala itself is like a big disk. In that big disk, there are 7 islands. Between each island, there is one ocean, sugarcane ocean, milk ocean, yogurt, like that. So only we are coming to one center. One is this one. Only first Jambudvipa is in the middle.
Okay.
And within the Jambudvipa is only we are seeing all this 9 tract of land.
Yeah, divided by these mountains.
Yes. So
Prabhu,
from top,
this is actually the discussion of one universe, no, Prabhu? So from Karanodashika Vishnu, several universes are coming. Yeah, one Brahmanda, you are talking about all these things, no, Prabhu?
Yes. One Brahmanda. Within that Brahmanda, there is Bhumandala. Within that Bhumandala is the 7 islands, which we see that, which is separated by oceans. Within that 7 islands, one ocean is Jambudvipa, which is in the middle. In that Jambudvipa, there are 9 Varshas of land, divisions of
divided by mountains.
and divided by mountains. And in that 9 Varshas, 1 Varsha is Bharata Varsha. In that Bharata Varsha is a tract of land. In that Bharata Varsha, there is called Bharata Kanda. In the Bharata Kanda only earth is there. Okay, Mataji. So here you
Again,
can
too
see.
much,
Yeah,
too much confusion only. That
we
means
have
this,
tried.
yes, Prabhuji, please take one live class one day, 1 or 2 days, 3 days.
Sure. And we get
Just
chance.
want to
Whatever
understand.
I am also not
Not for
expert in
any,
that.
not for any scholarship, but understanding about this wonderful creation of the Supreme, we can be able to understand his qualities. We can be able to praise him, glorify him more.
Yes.
That's the only reason I just
And
want to
also we
understand.
can understand our insignificant position also.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji is very insignificant. Prabhuji, as you said, no, these all mountains in between these 7 lands are there. 7 or 9 lands, you said, Prabhu? 7.
9 lands, Mataji.
9
Within
lands.
Jambudvipa, there are actually 9 lands. 9
See,
tracts
these
of
all
land.
places,
You can see
all
here,
places
Mataji, you can
different
count
version.
here. 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6 on the 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. Both sides 2. And I think one more, the center is 9.
9. That means
3 in the
these all
center, 3
places.
above. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. These all places, different incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godheads are worshipped.
Worshipped, yes.
Almost.
Yes.
But
Is
here,
what
here in the Kedumala, Cupid and Hrishikesha, Lakshmi, in that way.
Demigods
How we
also.
can understand that Cupid and Hrishikesha here?
Hrishikesha is actually Lord Krishna, Narayana
No,
Lakshmi
Krishna,
only.
but Cupid.
Cupid is actually, we have to go into detail, Mataji, because I don't know Cupid exactly. It is, they are residing there. I don't know, like worship. See here, inhabitants also there. No, if you see here, Prahlad Maharaj is inhabiting here Hari Varsha and he is worshipping Narsimha. Maybe, I don't know, Cupids are residing there and they are worshipping the Ketumala and worshipping Rishikesha and Lakshmi. Like, we have to go in detail, or maybe when we read, we can understand that.
Yeah, otherwise we can understand that from here Naranarayana Rishi and from that top Lord Ramji, Narasimhan, here Sankarshana and other incarnation Malsya Kurma Varaha. That means everywhere Krishna is actually in the other forms worshipped.
Yes, the different forms he is worshipped. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay, Prabhuji. Okay, thank
so
you.
like that, we are going. Actually, this is how the King Priyavrata Maharaj, he created this tract of land. 7 tract of land he only created. The sun was here. Actually, if you know, the sunlight was not coming this side. So he wanted to actually make his land always bright with light. So he created this 7 tract of land, then given to his children for ruling. 7 tract of land. So if you read that earlier Bhagavatam in the 5th canto beginning, I think this all described more. I think not in the beginning. Which one it is actually Parishit? That is about
already we read that before.
5th canto in the beginning. The chapter.
Yes, bro. Given to his children. Prabhuji, this is 7 in which sense we can take? Like the universe, when the layer of universe is actually when we talk, if we, like we already in which chapter I don't know, in the creation part I think the universe is actually from one layer to other. 7 layers are there from gross to subtle form. That all, and this one is something relationship is there, Prabhu?
No, this one is like Brahmanda is like a shape. No, it's the middle. You can see like this disc. You can see the disc only. These 7 islands are there, like a disc. Above this will be all the Satyaloka, Tapaloka. From the Mount Meru, you come down. 7 up, 7 down, like that.
Oh, okay. Otherwise, 7 layers are there. Then from subtle form to gross form, 1 layer after another, more gross, something like that. Also read somewhere.
Now, one thing is that these many things are not, or physically we cannot visualize. Means see that what we read, today we read that that certain things are not visible to our eyes.
Not visible.
So we can discuss that, Mataji, in more detail as we progress. No, when we read proper purport and translation, we'll get more clarity also.
But we need somebody's guidance like you, bro. Otherwise, we will read and we'll go like that.
Sure. Whatever I know, I will share with you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Some basic knowledge only. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
Yes, Anatama Gopal Prabhu raised his hand. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. There is one, I just like to share this.
Yes, Prabhu.
I hope you can see this book.
Yeah, Bhagavata Cosmology.
by Pavaneshwara Das.
Yes.
Those who are interested, you can get it from Amazon. It's
Yeah,
given in detail. I tried to read this book, but
I also have one copy.
I didn't understand anything. But
Yeah,
it's given in great detail here, all about
Yes.
Nambudweep and the various varshas.
Very graphical presentation is there. We can. This time only I also purchased, bro. Hare Krishna.
Did you try reading that book, Prabhu?
No, not started.
I made an
There.
attempt, but I found it.
Prabhuji, author, Prabhuji?
Sorry,
Pavaneshwara
Prabhu.
Das.
Pavaneshwar, Prabhu. Prabhu, we
Pav-
had class from no, so he has taken class during the COVID time
Yes.
for us. Same devotee
Okay.
has published that book also available in Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many classes are there on the YouTube from Pavaneshwara Prabhu.
Yes.
Same Vedic
Hare-
cosmology.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So we
You
will
have,
discuss as we progress more.
Yeah.
I also am leaving some other activities there, commitments.
Yes,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
So we have today Chaitanya Charitamrita class. I will discuss this. Sudarshan was there, Prabhu. If we can postpone next week, because many people have Arati. I will ask him. Maybe from next week we can start. Or if they want to conduct today, then we will have the class. So I just have a word with him. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you all for your participation and
Chant
for
3
giving
times Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
We
Krishna,
chant for all
Hare
the
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare